Hi everyone, it's TwilyX360, and I know I don't really sound too excited right now, but I'm not gonna say why, but anyhow, right now I'm going to tell you in an unscripted mess about my latest upcoming project, Project Shining Saturn. Now, obviously, that's not the real name of this project. I'm going to reveal its name later, and I'll get as to why I'm waiting for it. So, to put it simply, it's a ship fic, a G5 ship fic, and I'm not going to say which characters from G5 I'm shipping, but, if I'm gonna be honest, my audience is probably gonna figure it out pretty quickly. Now, why exactly am I hyping this up so much? Well, it's actually because I'm actually really proud of the writing I put into this fanfic. Like, the writing in this fanfic compared to my last fic is honestly pretty miles above, I could say. And don't take my word for it. Take BellaThePinkSavage's word for it. Yes, she's involved in this project as well. I more or less asked Bella to be my proofreader, or I guess my test audience, before I release the fic. And so far, she's been very enthused. I also told her if she would like to draw the title card for the fanfic, which she said yes. So she's working on that, and, obviously it's going to take a while for the title card to get made. So that's a huge reason why I'm not really revealing anything about the fanfic too quickly. Because the title card is being drawn, and what also doesn't help is that I'm not even finished writing it. Mostly because, these past few months have just been so busy for me. Thankfully, this has not hindered my writing experience. I actually kind of wrote as I went. I mean, I do have a few concerns here and there, but at the same time, I realize, even if I and one other person is proud of the writing, it's not a guarantee that it'll be successful, and honestly, only you guys can determine if it's successful or not, because only you can judge if it's good or not. Though, I do have some goals for this fanfic in mind. For one thing, I am hoping that it will actually appeal to people outside the brony fandom. Yeah, and I know how really freaking weird that sounds, but I've heard about My Little Pony fanfics that have gotten to the attention of non-bronies. And it's mostly because the ponies are more or less the story device, like the way in which you tell the story. Like, I've actually learned this advice from the Lost Narrator. Like, she's created a ton of fanfics that's actually gotten the attention of people outside the brony fandom. And it makes sense, because it's still a good story. Storytelling doesn't always have to be limited to one specific thing. And because this fic is pony, I don't think it should be just regulated to ponies either. I think it's possible for someone outside the brony fandom to find this story entertaining, I am sure. Mostly because another reason is that I'm starting to delve into base concepts in the story. And by that I mean I'm just focused on telling a story with these themes in mind. I'm also hoping that on some level it might be able to teach people. And yes, I'm aware that I am just starting to get into the writing scene, and trying to teach people through my writing is an absurd risk for someone who is basically just an experimental writer right now. And if you're wondering, yes, I was planning to get other people to read the story outside of Bella, but all the potential candidates that I wanted to read the story are dealing with something in their real life right now, and I don't know anyone else who could fit the candidate bill to see this story and proofread it. Speaking of reading, another thing I'm hoping to achieve with this story is being able to reach out to someone who may not have that long an attention span for reading. And I know that sounds even weirder, but I modeled the fanfic in a way that retains the attention span of whoever's trying to read it for a short time, but still trying to tell a story. My word limit is actually 800 to 600 words per chapter. So that's what I mean by retaining attention span for reading a specific story. With a few exceptions, though. Certain chapters that I define as key character moments will be over 1,000 words. And even then, they aren't that long. Like, they literally only reach 1,000 words, and that's literally it. I picked this up not because I think my audience attention span is getting lower, or that I think my audience can't pay attention for too long. It's because that humans in general are creatures that have limited attention spans. It's kind of a fundamental aspect of humanity to not have like an hour-long attention span. And if anything, it's ludicrous to think that you could be at your peak attention span for an hour. I mean, there are the exceptions, and yes, I'm aware that there are some people that I may never get this fic to appeal to, but still, I'm hoping it will be successful, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. So, see you guys later. Stay tuned on my DeviantArt, YouTube, and FimFiction to see the release and name reveal of Project Shining Saturn.